How we doing all? Welcome in. We are going to be running today Oulton Park for the first race of the season, week 1 of season 3. We're going to be doing this every single Monday for the next 12 weeks. We've got a 12-week calendar of open lobbies, starting with Oulton Park. We'll get into what's going to be coming in the rest of the season later on. Ace asking how many people in the session. Currently 7 people in the session. I think there's 40 total that you can should be able to join. There's plenty of space to join this one. But yeah, we are currently in practice for Oulton Park. A couple of people already set lap times on the board. It's very close. P1, P2, and P3 at the moment with 133s. Adam Barque has just set his first lap, 140.7. But yeah, it's going to be Oulton Park today. We've got 45 minutes of practice, 13 minutes left on that session, as then we jump into 15 minutes of open qualifying, followed by a 1-hour race. I think a lot of people are struggling with setups at the moment, Nico. A couple of people are opting for a fixed setup. As we just take a look at Charlie O'Kane, who's just jumped out the pits on cold tyres. And this is, yeah, so Oulton Park is one of the challenging tracks on the British GT calendar. I think there's a lot of elevation change here. It's a very narrow track as well, which makes overtaking and car control quite difficult. One of the slower tracks on the British calendar. A lot of people opt in for the McLaren and the Ferrari in today's session. It's Charlie O'Kane just dropping through his lap, getting some temperature into those tyres. Track conditions today are going to be dry. Mild temperatures 19 degrees, which is a lot less than what we've actually had in the real world here in the UK at the moment. Hitting sort of 29 degrees today. The rest of the week is going to be a lot warmer, as Charlie just runs a little bit wide there into turn 1. So yeah, just a heads up for the format for today. Jacob is currently over actually at Spa and Nürburgring in the real world this week, so unfortunately he won't be joining us for any commentary or stewarding today, so stewarding might be a little bit difficult, but we'll see how we manage it. There's okay, and they're just jumping out of the chicane there and into the barrier. Duncan Andrews in his third session with us here at Refine Motorsport. The Barnaby Ferrari 296 livery. 133.8. Turn 1 definitely proving tricky for some of the drivers in the practice session. It's definitely a corner where you can definitely make up or lose a lot of time. Yeah, if you are wanting to come and join the session, If you pop into the hosted tab in Iracing and do a quick search for Refined Motorsport, you'll be able to join. It as an open session. There's no password on this one. I've got 9 minutes of practice left before we jump into a 15-minute open qualifying session. There's Matty Roberts from Grid Up. Also joining in the 296. Car 296 proving quite popular today. I think there's 5 or 6 people running the car. Matty Roberts with the Grid Up livery. We've seen numerous times over previous events. As he runs wide, coming into Druids, one of the trickier corners to get right. It's one of those corners where you sort of have to double apex, but just the right amount of throttle sort of pulls the car around to the outside curb. Definitely looking like we've got less drivers than we have previously, which is definitely going to make my job easier stewarding this race. Unfortunately, like I say, Jacob's not going to be here to do any of that sort of stewarding behind the scenes, so if you see random pop-ups on the screen, that's just me issuing black flags, penalties, bringing out safety cars, etc. Matty just losing the rear end there. As we're back in the McLaren, again another popular car. We've seen the 720S and the Ferrari 296 numerous times over these hosted events. Seem to be proving quite popular, and a lot of people are not going to be running setups today either. Did a quick search through Go Setups, Coach Dave Academy, P1 Docs. There doesn't seem to be anything available for the GT3s here at OULTON Park. When's the fast drivers coming? I think you need to get in here, Roxy. Show them out how to do it on a controller, yeah? As we're back, just about to run into a bit of traffic as well, which is definitely going to hinder his next lap a little bit, as he does, again, just go a couple of attempts quicker. The 132.2. Beat them all in reverse. You should prove it, or it didn't happen, mate. Welcome in, Adam. If you guys are wanting to join the session, if you do a search in the hosted tab in Iracing for Refined Motorsport, you guys find the session. It's an open session. Everyone is welcome to join. It's Addisman back, getting a little bit wobbly, a bit of tank slapper there, coming out of the chicane. Again, the exit of Hilltop's a little bit Hislop, sorry, getting a little bit tricky to sort of settle the car without grabbing that inside curb, which really throws you out wide. Internet's died. Yeah, I was spectating your car, Duncan. Kept blinking in and out. Karstein Havdal finished P4 in the final round of Watkins Glen. We did 4 rounds of Watkins Glen. I think Watkins Glen sort of allowed us to sort of figure out what the best format for running these races are. Definitely having that sort of high rating cap definitely helps. Round 4, the last event that we did, proved to be a pretty successful event. There was no safety cars last Monday, which is surprising for a public lobby. Yeah, Karstein Havdal and George Ford had a very close battle through the final minutes of Watkins Glen last week. Karstein practically pushing Asmund down the start finish straight. Crosses the line to put him in P3 with a 133.4. I think he was very focused on his lap time there that he got to brake into turn 1. How are we doing, guys? Can I just get a quick radio check? Thank you very much. So, yeah, welcome in, guys. It's going to be OULTON Park for the first race of our little Season 3 open public races. So this is going to be broadcasted over on the Refined Motorsport Twitch channel for anybody who is joining that isn't already over there. So you'll have live commentary and student over there as well. We have got a 15-minute open practice, sorry, an open qualifying session coming up, followed by a 1-hour session, race session. I will be stewarding the race as well. A lot of the stewarding will be done over voice chat today, so if I ask you to give back positions or issue you with flags, please obey them as well. All of the incidents will be reviewed where possible as well. Feel free to come and join the Discord. Discord link is in the description of this session if you guys haven't already. We're going to be hosting these every Monday at 8 PM UK time. Full schedule will be posted in the Discord as well. No, but this is Season 3, mate. Season 3. First race, Season 3. Watkins Glen last week was just sort of testing out the format. Got the website on the go, which is hopefully going to be released over the next couple of days. We're going to be testing out the new scoring system on there as well, which is going to be pretty cool. So we just whip over to Alejandro Lima in the Ferrari 296, currently sitting in P2 with a 132.7. Again, Ferraris and McLarens topping the leaderboard at the moment. That seems to be all that's running in this session at the moment. There's currently only 8 drivers. I was hoping to see a few more today, but it was a little bit late with the promotion for the session as well. WA Duncan, cheers for the follow, as we do see Charlie O'Kane spinning out in the background. But that is the end of the 45-minute practice. Time seems to have flown past. We will be jumping into open qualifying very shortly. How are we doing, Danielle? Welcome in. So just heads up for the race as well, there is going to be unlimited fast repairs. I will try to call it a safety car if there is multiple people involved in an incident, so you will be able to come in for a fast repair and also get the wave around. So it's not necessarily the end of your race if that happens. Okay, so yeah, when 1 minute into quali already, I'm starting to see some drivers come out of the pits. Again, it seems to be a board of McLaren 720Ss and Ferrari 296s in today's GT3 race at OULTON Park. As Matthew Roberts jumping out of Hislops, runs a little bit wide over the exit curve. Down into the fast double right-hander of Druids. Again, we're not expecting to see any record-breaking lap times on this outlap, as we see Dust Trail off down into the in the background there, going into Druids. I'm not sure who that was. George is in the session, but he's not gone out on track yet, Wilty, so I'm not sure. So yeah, Matthew Roberts down into turn 1, nice and clean. As we dive into turn 3, this is a fast corner. It's very, like I say, very easy to lose the rear end there, as Matty has kindly demonstrated for us. Was hoping to jump on a little bit of an onboard lap with him there, but that didn't quite work out. Yeah, currently sat in the in this room at the moment with the AC on. Without it, we'll be looking at sort of 26 degrees as the sun sets. I think we had temperatures of 29 degrees today when I was at work. Not very comfortable. I think it's only going to get hotter during the rest of the week. But nice and cool for the drivers today. 19 degrees air temperature, 23 degrees track temperature, no chance of rain, but high humidity. So we've got quite a green track for the drivers, so we should be seeing some fairly competitive lap times. As Karsten Habdel puts his first time on the board with 136.1. 3 seconds slower than his practice, but it's to be expected with these cold tyres. So we see Matthew Roberts warming up his tyres ahead of Karsten. Charlie O'Kane, P1, 135.2. Charlie just loses it into the chicane. Seeing if we can find somebody that is ready to do a quick lap. As Matty Roberts coming through the last corner. So down into third gear through Old Hall Corner. The long right hand of the avenue down into Denton's and Cascades, down into third gear. You've got to be very careful on the power here. It's easy to rip the back end around the car tyres. As we are flat out through Lakeside. Fast left-hander through Island Bend. A little bit of a blind chicane as we brake down into second gear for Shell's Oil Corner. Might dive into first, I think we're going to that extra torque there. Probably one of the trickiest corners on the circuit, so we're going to Britain's chicane. Again, just be careful of those inside tyre walls and also get the power down without running too wide. Braking at the 100-metre board for Hislops. Again, watching those tyre barriers on the inside. Also got to watch on the right hand side of this curve here, as it can really sort of bounce the car and throw the car towards that exit curve. Absolutely pinned from over Clay Hill for the 100-metre board on the left as we turn into the double right hander of Druids. Lodge corner again, tricky one, very off-camber corner. It tightens quite a lot as you go into there, so it's quite easy to sort of jump on the power and run wide. It's Matty Roberts, it's a 1:35.4. So I lost my mouse, interestingly. Zeno, yeah, you can sure join, mate. As long as you got 1200 I rating or more, you're open and free to join the session, mate. So again, not seeing those fast lap times that we've seen in practice. Currently 2 seconds off the pace. Carsten Havdal currently holding that P1 position at the moment, the 134.1, almost into the 133s. As we are currently just following Carsten Havdal as he crosses the start-finish line. Goes slightly quicker. 133.4, 6 tenths quicker than his previous. So big thanks to Ken Backen as well for bringing his crew over as well. There's a couple of races from his community that have joined today and have been part of the previous Watkins Glen races that we've been running. Ken opting for a different car choice today. He's running the Mercedes AMG last week, running the McLaren 720S today. Zeno, yep, you can join, mate. Session name is Refined Motorsport. You've got about 4 or 5 minutes left on qualifying before the session will close. Yeah, 4 minutes left. Should give the drivers about 2 more flying laps. As we see our first Mercedes AMG at Alton Park here from Dominic Wright. Still yet to set times. I think we've had a couple of late showers to the session. There's Asman back. As fast as now the 132.1, so we've got 2 drivers now into the 132s. That's Asman back and Karstein Havdal. It's going to be your first time on this track. Alton Park's a fantastic track, mate. A lot of people don't like it in GT3s, they think it's too narrow, but I think it does make for some pretty good racing, I think, Alton Park. I'm a big fan of a lot of the British GT circuits. Alton Park, Donington Park being, I think, one of my favourites. Not a lot of people own the track though, so kind of difficult to host events there. Yeah, Alton Park is one of my favourites, I think, as well. It's probably the track I've been to the most. It's about a 30-minute drive from where I live. How many people in the session? It's currently 12 people in the session, still waiting on a bunch to set lap times. Metro, but yeah, you're more than welcome to join. Got 2 minutes 50 seconds left to quali. If you are wanting to get in. The session name is Refined Motorsport. You'll find it in the hosted tab on Iracing. How many people are stewarding? I'm going to be stewarding just myself today, but it'll be over voice comms, just to make it a little bit easier. There's not that many people in today, so hopefully it won't be too crazy. Yeah, Donington for Superbikes would be awesome, mate. Done a couple of track days there in the MX-5. I'll do my best as always, Metro. Thank you. So, just as we approach the last minute and a half of the qualifying session, we will be jumping into a 60-minute race. There is IMSA regulations on fuel, so there will be a mandatory pit stop in order to fuel. If you guys want to take tyres, you can do. There's going to be unlimited fast repairs in this as well, so if you do have an accident, it's not the end of the race. I'll try and call a safety car if there's multiple cars involved. There's not that many drivers in today's session, so hopefully it's clean, tidy, and we have good racing. Currently streaming over on Refined Motorsport on Twitch. If you want to come and drop me a follow over there and take a look at the broadcast, you'll be able to see the action from outside of your car. You'll be able to see the whole race, see what's going on. We've also got Discord. Discord server is in the description of this session. You can join over there. We'll be hosting regular Monday events, same time every week. All of the session details will be posted over on the Discord as well. But yeah, I want to say have fun, guys. Let's try not to absolutely kill each other. But yeah, I'll be stewarding the race as we go as well. So if you hear me say things like car number 10, Matty Roberts, dive into the pit lane for a drive-through, then please do so. Has George not set a quali lap? I know George is super busy. He joined the session. I'm not sure whether he's going to get out in time to actually race. Be good to see him here. We do have a points and scores leaderboard on the website, which is going to be hopefully published at some point this week. But yeah, I think George said he's going to be he's busy prepping for a party or something tomorrow. So, yep, that is Dominic Wright just crossing the line for his final lap. As the checkered flag is out. Party ain't no party if we ain't there. Okay, I think we have confirmation. I think George is going to be driving. I just don't think he's set a lap. I think it's definitely a rock up at the last minute sort of moment. But I have full faith in George. I know George has driven this track a number of times. Just learnt the track today. No timing like the present, mate. Okay, so today's starting grid. We have Asman back, setting the P1 spot with 131.9. The only driver today to get into the 131s. Followed by Karsten Havdal, 132.7. On the second row, we've got Adam Vernon with a 133.8. Ken Backen with 134 flat. Third row, we've got Duncan Andrews in P5. And Charlie O'Kane starting in P6. Matty Roberts starting in P7, 135.1. Find, I think, the lap time that he was hoping for today. Alongside him, Sam Baird, 135.9. And then we have all of the guys who haven't set a lap today. So we've got Nicholas Balderrama, in P9. We've got Dominic Wright in P10, George Ward P11, Alejandro Lima in P12. And at the back of the grid, we've got Malte Jacal, who again joining us from Watkins Glen last week as well, in P13, and Sebastian Glees in P14.
Yeah.
So drivers are all lined up on the grid.
Nico, you'll take under this course.
Safety car pulls away. Hopefully we don't have any incidents. I will say one thing, Duncan, that you are still blinking, so just be aware if you see the pink Barbie Ferrari 296, just be careful. Okay, short formation lap. As the safety car dives into the pits, Asman Bakke gets away fast. Adam Vernon already up into P2 in the Porsche 911. Down the inside into turn 1. Karsten Havdal behind, pulls down into P3. Everything's looking fairly clean so far. which is always a great start for an 11-car grid. As we ride aboard Charlie O'Kane, looking for a move down the inside of Ken Backen, but backs off as we come into the shallow oil hairpin. Front runners of Asman Bakke getting away cleanly, already built up a few temps over Adam Vernon. Adam Vernon, the only one running the Porsche 911 GT3 into this race. As we're back already half a second gained, almost a second up in this first lap as we look back at Karsten Havdal, who has made a move back up the inside of Adam Vernon. Adam Vernon now P3. Karsten Havdal looking to sort of break away now, try and catch Asman back. We know they were doing very competitive lap times in qualifying. So we ride on board with Ken Backen looking to put pressure on Matty Roberts. How do Race UK, welcome in, mate. Yeah, it's very tight corners, we come into shallow oil hairpin, down into the brick chicane. It's always one where you're sort of looking in your mirrors as Porsche 911 of Nicholas Valderrama dives up the inside into the brick chicane as they're coming down now into Hislop's break at the 100-metre board. Ken Backen losing out to Dominic Wright. Matty Roberts doing well to hold up Nicholas Valderrama in the grid up Ferrari 296. This defensive driving from Matty though is allowing the front runners to break away as Nicholas Valderrama looks to go up the inside but chooses to back off there. Christian Havdal already into the 133s. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, Race UK. That's Matty Roberts running wide down into turn 3. As we look at Dominic Wright also making a move on Valderrama. Dominic Wright in the Mercedes AMG into the 135s, great looking lap times at the moment as they're sort of in this train behind the defensive driving of Matty Roberts. Duncan Andrews has managed to pull out a bit of a lead, a bit of a gap there. Typical grid up cutting grass. You're definitely not wrong, as Dominic Wright looking for a move there, and I think as well Nicholas Valderrama also looking for something there into the last corner, which I think has just opened up Matty just to have a little bit of a breather over the next couple of corners. Adam Vernon setting the fastest lap with 1:33. Just like in the live stream, welcome in. drivers of Matty Roberts in the Ferrari 296 build-up livery and Dominic Wright in the orange Mercedes AMG. 2 temps in it. Dominic Wright potentially looking at something, but it's one of those, you come into the chicane, it's really not a move where you want to send it, but you just want to focus your exit. So you can be later on the brakes coming into Hislops, which Dominic Wright looks to be as they go side by side through Hislops. Matty's still holding that inside line. Dominic Wright managed to get through as Matty Roberts runs wide over the exit curve and into the gravel. Dominic now sort of able to pull away from Valderrama. There's Dominic also running over the grass. There is a 25 incident point limit for today's race as well. Immediate disqualification if you hit that limit. As Asman back goes fastest in 1:32.3. Ken Bakken also looking to go down the inside on Valderrama, but chooses to sort of back away from that. Can't make that one stick as Matty Roberts now looking for a little bit of damage recovery as he goes down the inside into turn 3. Nicely done there from Matty Roberts. That is Matty. What other Matty do we know from Grid Up? Very close racing in the midfield of this race as Asman back. Already 2.5 seconds ahead. Karsten Havdal. And it's one of those where they are only on 50% fuel for this race. They will have to start thinking about what they want to do with their strategy throughout this race. They will have to make 1, potentially 2 stops due to the fuel limitations. So it's whether they choose to fuel save and go long, get the faster pit stop time due to putting less fuel in the car, or if they're just going to go all out and make it up with sheer lap pace. Make me feel like a proud dad looking and go. Things starting to settle down a little bit now. As Charlie O'Kane not had the best of starts in this race, currently running down in P11 at the back of the grid. He is 1 lap down, so I'm not sure what happened to him for that to happen. So we just look at George Ward there, who's lost the rear coming into Druids, and looks like it's going to be potential retirement. I think he is still running. 20 seconds down, so I think it's going to be definitely ideal for George to get a safety car. A little bit of a strange one, seeing George driving the Corvette. I think it's the first time I've actually seen George drive the Corvette. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a George driving this with 0 practice, then jumping straight into the race. That Corvette does look very planted. As we go through that fast right-hander of Druids. Down into the final lodge corner. Up and over the crest. Through Deer leaping across the start-finish line. Yeah, 20 seconds down, not ideal. We jump back on board with Ken Bakken, still being chased down by Nicholas Valderrama in the Porsche. It does look like he's got front end damage. doing 30 miles an hour. So we start this session with a 24-degree track temperature, which is now dropping down to 21. So track temperature is getting cooler. Fuel is burning off. We should start seeing those lap times dropping off. Esmond back goes faster again with a 132.2 as we see Charlie O'Kane getting a little bit tail happy through the exit of Druids and across the grass. One thing I've always found at Oulton Park is the track's not too demanding on the tyres. You can definitely make the tyres last and do well until the end of a 1-hour race. It's definitely a lot less tyre degradation than we were seeing at Watkins Glen, where that front left tyre was just getting absolutely destroyed after 30 minutes. We've seen that dropping down to like 70% during the first stint. So tyre management, not too much of an issue here at Oulton Park, but I think fuel strategy is definitely going to come into play as Nicholas Baldemara closing the gap now, 0.2 seconds behind. Getting back and doing well to keep Porsche 911 behind. Matt and Roberts did have an incident into the race at some point. Not sure what happened to him. George Ward also. Not sure why that's come up again. That is the same incident that we saw earlier on. Asmund back also lost out on P1 there. I'm not sure what's happened. See if we can quickly take a look at Asmund back through here. So that's Adam Vernon taking him out. See if he does allow him to go back ahead. I think I'm satisfied with that. This is the race, Jay. Yeah, Asmund back getting taken out there by Adam Vernon, allowing Carsten Habdal to take the lead. Now 1 second ahead. George was also flagging that he has repairs needed as well. As we will just take a quick look at that and see what happened to George. As we're coming down into Cascades and just absolutely sends it. Not ideal. Definitely the end of the race, I think, for George Ward. Like I say, he does have the fast repair. We will have to do the tow. There's potential of a yellow flag. Carsten Habdal now under pressure from Asmund back, who's getting all up in his mirrors. Carsten Habdal goes defensive. Back looking to get a better exit as we come out of Hislops. Up the flat out uphill over crest section as we come into Druids. I think it's clear Asmund back is the quicker driver, but we'll see what Carsten Habdal does in order to defend and hold on to this P1 position. Turn 1, always a great opportunity for an overtake. Doesn't choose to go for it here. As we head down into Cascades. Hadar again looking to maximise his exit as we take the long run down Lakeside. The slow second gear corner shallows chicane. Carstein absolutely sending it over the chicane there, compromises his exit. Asman now gets the run. After holding that inside line, holding the defensive line. Back unable to make the move. Yeah, Zeno, you're not wrong. We did a mixed class P Cup and GT3s here, and I was driving the GT3, and I just could not get past one of the P Cups. As back now looking to go around the outside, they're too wide as they come across the start finish line, down into turn 1. Asman back able to take that position, but Carstein Havdal not looking to give it up easily. He will get the better run as he comes out of Cascades. Asman having to go slightly defensive here. As coming to flat left-hander of Island Bend. Again, Zeno with a perfect example of why it's difficult to overtake here. As back just plants it in the middle of the circuit. Havdal unable to sort of find any sort of gap or space to make it through. Yeah, I don't think Carstein Havdal's got really much to challenge here. We saw how quickly back ran away with this at the beginning of the race, in 2.5 seconds in the first 3 laps. Again, both drivers really sort of looking, you can see here, trying to absolutely maximise the use of the track. So that's 20 minutes done of this race. Been a fairly incident-free restart. A couple of incidents which put Asman back down into P3. Adam Vernon gave him his position back. Was able to gain that time with Carstein and make that pass again. But in doing so, he's probably used a lot of fuel here, but we'll see how that plays out when we get to the fuel stops. As Nicholas Valdemara is in the pits at the moment. It looks like he is taking tyres. Just see what happened to Sam Bird as they come out side by side. Dominic Wright does manage to hold on to that lead. Let's have a quick look at what happened to Sam Bird. Okay, I think that is That is a tow from Sam Bird, I think, there. Again, a little bit difficult to sort of keep an eye on things and keep up to date with what's going on in the race. George Ward, 1 lap down. But the leaders are about 7 or 8 seconds off George Ward. Which is going to make the battle maybe a little bit more interesting, as it's one of the tighter tracks here to make a pass on, even behind blue flag traffic. When's the next hosted? Next hosted is going to be, well, we're going to be doing these every Monday. Scoring system is going to be live on the website as well for everybody that attends these. So the more you attend, the more points you can potentially earn. But we're going to be doing these Monday, 8 PM GMT +1, so UK time, every Monday. Posting all of the session details for each of the sessions and upcoming sessions over in the Discord. You can find the link in the bio of whichever platform you're watching this stream on. So just looking at the lap times, again, we're sort of seeing the same 2 drivers back and Havdal into the 132s, qualified P1 and P2 in this race. Adam Vernon with a 133.6. Something else we've been meaning to do, which I completely forgot about this race, is highlighting the driver that we're actually chasing as George gets blue flags and waves through the leader of Adam Burke and Karsten Havdal. Perfect opportunity for George to try and make up some time while following the leader's lines. The overtake from the leader does make George 2 laps down now. What license is required? There's no license requirement, it's just an I rating requirement of 1200. And that just simply eliminates the people here just to absolutely send it into the formation lap. As we do see a driver, again, I'm not sure if that was Sam Bird, who had the incident that we saw as he just runs into the grass and sends that potentially back to the pits. Not quite sure what Sam was doing here, but he did eventually tow back to the pits. I think next week is Virginia, Jay. So again, another free track. Karsten Havdal losing out now, I think, to back. He's 1.7 seconds back. He's losing about 2 or 3 tenths per lap. Top 5 drivers in today's race still yet to make a pit stop. Sam Bird getting extremely close to hitting that incident point limit, 21 incident points. George Ward also needed to tidy up his driving, 14 incident points. There's a 25 incident point limit on this race for a disqualification. Yeah, Charlie O'Kane was looking good in practice and quali, but it's definitely not been a great start to his race. But he continues anyway, 38 seconds behind P7. Still, a lot can happen in this race. Things have settled down quite a bit, so I think a safety car would be interesting at this point. Let's see if we can just review some of those lap 1 incidents whilst things have quietened down a little bit. So we have Aspen Burke early into the race. Just again watching that start. Yeah, Nicholas Baldemara gets a mega start, puts him up into P2 in the first corner of the race. Let's have a look at what happened to Charlie O'Kane earlier on. So he's coming around the chicane, just loses the rear end. And unfortunately he gets tagged by another car, has that rear wheel damage. Very unfortunate for him. George Ward getting all tail happy into the chicane. It does look like he's got front wheel damage there. I'm not sure if that's just an Iracing glitch or... Sam Baird really not getting on with this track. Obviously front end damage from the collision with Charlie O'Kane, but didn't really have anywhere to go. Charlie O'Kane again losing it into turn 1. He's driving around here with crooked steering, which definitely not ideal, definitely not where you want to be. Yeah, not a great start from Charlie, unfortunately. As Aspen back now into the pits for his first stop of the race. Costin Havdal already made his stop. Coming through the tail end of Druids, you can see where he comes out in relation to back. Back also opting for new tyres. It's an interesting one. Didn't expect that. This could and does mean that Havdal will take the lead of this race. Aspen back, going to have to make up a lot of time. It's currently 13, 14, 15 seconds, pushing the 16-second mark as he comes out of the pits. Ken Bakken also into the pits now. Doesn't look like he'll be taking tyres on this one. Yeah, 16-second lead now for Karsten Havdal over Asmund Back. I don't know if that was a mistake. Asmund perhaps taking tyres by accident there. So that is all the drivers now having made their pit stop. And as we do watch Duncan Andrews going slightly wide into turn 1, running over the AstroTurf and grass there quite heavily. So 28 minutes left of the race. Just over the halfway mark. I think a lot of people perhaps don't realise there could also be a splash and dash if they don't tyre manage. Nicholas Balderrama chasing down Duncan Andrews in the Ferrari 296. 0.3 seconds. Definitely putting him under pressure. Duncan will definitely be looking in his rearview mirror as Balderrama goes up the inside, makes the move stick, and up into P5. Just taking another look at that move again. Very late lunge there. Just has tons of grip. Is able to get on the power and make that move stick. Karsten Havdal now 18 seconds ahead. He's gained 1.5 to slap. That could be back looking to generate some of that tyre temperature after taking those fresh set of tyres. And again, for some of the lower I rating and lower class drivers that won't be used to these IMSA style races with the pit stop, might also not realise that it's maybe not necessary to take tyres during your pit stop. Just keeping an eye on that timing to see if Back does start closing that gap. We know he is the quicker of the drivers by a couple of attempts per lap on average, but he's incredibly off pace at the moment. Sector 3 alone, he lost a second on Havdal, just Sector 3 alone. Asmund back now into the pits. Interested to know what's happened to him. Is he going to be retiring from the race, or? does fully drive into bits, but again, up on the jacks, tyres changing, does he even leave the session? And I think that might be Asman back out of the session, came back and now up into the top 3. And again, guys, this is the problem with running open public sessions. We do have the usual people that do show up and attend these events. Fortunately, not everybody sticks around, but yeah, we'll be looking to kickstart the hosted league at some point in the very near future. We've got a lot of work to do, getting bits and pieces ready in order for that to happen. Sam Baird, repairs required. We've got George Ward again with another incident. I'm not sure what happened there. Is that a textbook incident of what happened earlier? I think he's having exactly the same incident that he had earlier on at the beginning of the race. Baird with the meatball flag, car on fire. Not sure what happened to him, but Sam Baird on 21 incident points, so not sure how he's demolished the car here. So currently looking at our leader, Karsten Havdal, finished P4 at Watkins Glen last week. On for the #1 spot today. 21 minutes left to go on the session. Doesn't look like anyone's going to be in contention for this win. Duncan Andrews looks to be really closing that gap now. That Ferrari 296 really come alive. 4 seconds back. I'm not sure if Valderrama's warming up tyres here or maybe nurturing a bit of damage, but it seems to be definitely losing time. So we jump on board with Duncan Andrews. Fortunately, his connection hasn't been fantastic this session. It's George Ward into the pits, again up on the jacks as well, going for new tyres. This is George's second stop of the race. He is a lap down. He's trying to find something slightly cheeky with the pit stop. Safety car right now for George would be absolutely fantastic. As he does join the rear end of the battle between Nicholas Baldomorma and Duncan Andrews. 0.3 second gap. Duncan Andrews trying to get out wide into the side mirrors and all of the mirrors of Baldomorma. Just trying to put that pressure on him. Maybe just take his attention away from the road just for a split second. This could be where he does it, but I think he's a little too far back to make this one work here. As they come up and over the start-finish line. Fast right-hander of Oldhall. Through Dentons and into the off-camber, tricky left-hander of Cascades. Trying to late apex that as much as you can to try and get a run down the straight of Lakeside through the blind bend of Island Bend. Duncan Andrews falling a little bit back here. It's definitely later on the brakes as we come into Britain Chicane. Brought the gap back up now to 0.6 seconds. They hit the brakes down into Hislops. Porsche is always very stable on the exit through here. Duncan Andrews just keeps blinking in and out of shot due to the connection that he's got. Which would definitely make a pass here a little bit worrying for Balderrama. Yeah, no worries, Charlie, mate. We did see a couple of spins and early incidents early in the race, unfortunately, and I think it's just been one of those sessions for you, mate. But I appreciate you taking part. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people are having issues with force feedback and setups for various different reasons lately. And again, I always find that seems to happen after the new season starts for iRacing, which we have just jumped into, season 3 of the 2026 iRacing official calendar. So casting Havdar now into the pits. That is our front runner diving into the pits. 36 seconds at the start of this pit entry. Definitely taking the smart decision here, not taking tyres. It's a quick splash and dash, 5.3 second pit stop. Adam Vernon probably will have to pit unless he's been fuel saving. But 14 seconds behind, plenty of time for Havdal to not have to worry about a thing. Again, Havdal running an amazing race this week for this week's session. Mentioned before, finished P4 at Watkins Glen last week after a very good battle with George Ward. Comfortably up in P1, just needs to keep things tidy, keep things clean for the final 15 minutes of this race. Down into Britain Chicane. Nice and tidy. Let's go up and over the crested hilltop. Great spectator spot this. 100-meter board diving into the brakes through Hislops. Again, just got to be very careful on the exit of Hislops. Can really unsettle the car, push the car wide. You don't want to be getting over the grass there. Three Druids looking real planted in that Ferrari 296. Down into the final corner of Lodge. And across the start finish line, 13 seconds, holding the gap nicely. And unfortunately, that is a disqualification due to incident points for George Ward. The no practice, no qualifying from George Ward really not paying off there. Fortunately, just got caught out a few too many times, a couple of spins, a couple of off tracks. Which can definitely throw off a driver, especially driving a new car, which I've personally never seen George drive before. Nicholas Balderrama into the pits. Looks to be going for quite a long splash and dash, 11.9 seconds, which is 5 seconds longer than Havdal. Doesn't opt for tyres on this stop. Still got Adam Vernon, Ken Backen and Duncan Andrews still yet to make their final pit stops. Yep, I think you nailed it on the head there, George. Don't miss practice, don't miss quali, but hey, hopefully next week works out a little bit better for you. Don't drive a car you've never driven before. So Duncan Andrews now 0.2 seconds behind Ken Backen now. This is in contention for third place. Duncan Andrews looking to go side by side. He just doesn't have that top end, I don't think, to make the stick. Duncan Andrews down the inside. Ken does leave the door open for him. I think touches the grass a little bit under the brakes and just loses the rear end. Duncan Andrews up into P3. Not seen much from Adam Vernon on this race. Been pretty isolated on his own, but actually running in P2. Not sure why Sam Bird is showing in the pit stops on the pit stop timer. But yeah, just looking at fastest lap times during the session. So Asman back with a 1:32.1. Fortunately retired from this session. Fortunately, no reason given. Second, we have is Costin Havdal, 1:32.3. Up in the lead now, 13.8, almost 14 seconds ahead of P2. Yep, only a few runners left in this race, unfortunately. 5 drivers left. That's Costin Havdal, Adam Vernon, Duncan Andrews, Ken Backen, and Nicholas Balderrama. OULTON Park, not a popular track for GT3 racing on iRacing. A lot of people consider this to be too narrow, difficult to overtake, quite a challenging track as well. There's a lot of elevation change as we look at Adam Vernon going up and over of the largest elevations on the circuit. A lot of complex corners, slow, tricky chicanes. Nine minutes to go. If only there was a yellow flag button. Could definitely make things interesting. Yep, this is your first time watching the stream, drop me a follow, that'd be much appreciated. Recently made Twitch affiliate as well, which for some reason has taken over a year to do. So we now have the opportunity for subscriptions as well, so if you have a Prime membership as well and not yet used it, subscription over on Twitch would be awesome to get my first. Also streaming over on the Red channel as well. I've already been building that up for a couple of weeks. Almost at 30 subscribers now, I think, over there. And TikTok, as per usual, which is where I do most of my actual driving streams as well. But I think, yeah, a lot of the broadcasts going forward focus on Twitch and YouTube. See if we can grow these out a little bit. And I think it makes for better viewing as well with the landscape format that we get over there. Appreciate the gifts, Jacob. Adam Vernon definitely slowly closing this gap. I don't think he's going to be closing enough per lap in order to really make anything sort of stick. I think the only way Havdal really loses this race is if he sends it off track, crashes the car, which, believe you me, I've done many times coming through these chicanes with these big massive tyre walls that don't seem to want to move and absolutely destroy the front of your car when you tag them. I think it's interesting to see them actually hit those in real life. Over at Donington Park when they have them through the S's. I got some great shots coming through there. I think of a Lamborghini absolutely sending it into the tyre wall. I think over the course of the race it pushed the tyre wall back about 3.5 feet. APQC, welcome in, mate. How are we doing? I've seen Havdal coming on to his 35th lap of, I believe, 39. 5.5 minutes to go. I think we're definitely seeing a little bit of fuel saving going on here. Still showing on the timing board that Adam Vernon, Duncan Andrews and Ken Backen are still yet to actually pit. Nicholas Valdemar just caught in the rear end of that as we as he switched his cameras, so you see what happened there. I think he just just a little bit too hot into the last corner, sends it into the gravel, does manage to keep it somewhat under control. Currently getting flagged at Ken Backen as had an incident. So just loses the rear end into Cascades. Does manage to get that back on track and away. Sunbed also not sure what Sunbed has been doing this race. Causing havoc. He's on 24 incident points, one more incident point and he'll be out of the race. So yeah, let me know in chat what track you guys think we should do next. I was planning on Virginia, but again, this is early days for this series of Monday races. Happy to change up the schedule. Obviously, we'll drive what everybody else wants to drive. Spa is on the calendar. Can potentially move that forwards. I appreciate that, George. It's Adam Vernon coming in for his final pit stop now. So we are seeing those P2, P3 and P4 should be coming in for their pit stops to see if Adam Vernon does or does not take tyres. He does take tyres, he's up on the jacks. Not going to be ideal. Duncan Andrews could be on for a P2 finish here if he doesn't take tyres. If this is going to be a splash and dash. Just blinks out again. This is going to be tight on the exit. Very tight on the exit. Adam Vernon does just manage to get ahead of Duncan Andrews. That pit stop did cost him by taking tyres. Duncan Andrews down the inside into Cascades. Does make that stick. Adam Vernon definitely going to be struggling on the colder tyres. Should allow Duncan Andrews just to walk away with this podium position. They were practically neck and neck coming out of the pits. That was, and I'll be honest, it's not the it's not the broadest of pit exits coming out of the pit lane at Oulton Park. You see already Duncan Andrews on those already warm tyres, just able to absolutely build that gap. 2.9 seconds now. All of a sudden, this last lap of the race potentially got quite interesting. Howdy, Vaclis. Welcome in, mate. Ken Backen onto his final lap now. 1.4 seconds behind. We've got Duncan Andrews in the Ferrari 296. You see him in the rear view of that camera shot. I don't think one lap is going to be enough for him to be able to make anything happen here. Adam Vernon absolutely fallen off, unfortunately. Big mistake there, taking tyres, especially with only 2 minutes of the session to go. Cost him big time. Karsten Havdal wins the race, as we are just following on board now with Ken Backen, looking to finish P2 here. Adam Vernon losing 2 places due to the tyre change pit stop. I think the bigger question here as well is Ken Backen still with that 1 stop. We look at the timing tower, still 1 stop on Ken Backen. Is he going to make it to the end of this race? With the fuel load that McLaren holds for the IMSA fuel regulations, he'll definitely be looking in his rearview mirror. Ken Backen crosses the line to finish P2. Duncan Andrews P3 in the Ferrari 296. Adam Vernon unfortunately lost it all there on the last lap of the race. He was running P2 for the last stint, finishes P4. Cheers for racing, guys. So yep, be sure to check out the stream, by the way, guys, over on Refined Motorsport. You'll be able to watch the stream back as well before the broadcast and commentary as well. But yeah, be sure to join next week as well on Monday. Details will be posted in the Discord. But yeah, that concludes today's race. And it started off as a pretty interesting race. There was some very good midfield battling. So, total of 38 laps completed this race. Karsten Havdal from Norway takes P1 for the first time here at Refined Motorsport, adding to his points, which I will be sharing with you guys in the Discord on the a couple of hours after I think this session finishes. But yeah, Karsten Havdal finishes P1, followed by Ken Backen in P2, Duncan Andrews in P3 in the Ferrari 296. Adam Vernon unfortunately losing out there by a very fine margin. The last couple of laps of this, finishing P4 in the Porsche 911. Nicholas Balderrama finishes P5. George Ward unfortunately retiring from this race due to disqualification of incident points. Finishes P6. Charlie O'Kane, again technical issues, had to leave the race early. Finishes P7. Asman back running fantastic at the beginning of the race. Was running up in P1 for the majority of this. Again, unfortunate retirer of the session. Not sure what happened to him, unfortunately. Dominic Wright in the Mercedes AMG finishes P9. Sam Baird in P10. Duncan, bro, I appreciate the Galaxy. Unfortunately, I don't have Tickfinity showing, so I only caught that just recently. But yeah, Duncan, appreciate the Galaxy, mate. You're an absolute legend. Apex Bandits bar, man. Cheers for the gifts. Cheers, George, mate. Absolute legend. But yeah, I think these formats, these sort of sessions, they're only going to improve. Hopefully next week we'll have some slightly better commentary, as I think Jacob will be back from his what looks to be an absolutely awesome trip to Spa in Belgium and Nordschleife. I'm actually kind of eager to watch his hot lap, which he's actually sent over to me in the Discord. I will post that with his permission into the Discord as well. If you guys want to see Burnout Racing 7 do a hot lap in his Honda S2000 around the Nordschleife, quite excited to watch that. Yep, hopefully more drivers next week. But yeah, we'll be coming back for the same time again. Not sure what track we're going to do yet, so either going to be Virginia or Spa. I think Spa is looking more promising. But yeah, it'll be the same time next week, Monday at 8 PM UK time. We will also be looking to do some more hosted sessions. There's still a lot in the works. It's again just getting the numbers, getting people in. For that too big in Discord, put it in YouTube, share it on YouTube, dude. So yeah, Ken saying, should we follow IMSA? I mean, that's always a good start. I think Monday is a good way to sort of prep for the Tuesday sessions, through the week change, the official changes, and all that sort of stuff. So that's always an option as well. But yeah, if you're not part of the Discord, come and join the Discord. Come and have a chat about it, because at the end of the day, I can only plan and set things up, but it's kind of what you guys want to actually race and want to do and want broadcasted as well. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today's session. We might look to do something else during the week. But yeah, huge congratulations, Karsten Howdell, Ken Backen, Duncan Andrews, top 3 runners in today's GT3 Fine Motorsport at Oulton Park. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.